Hola chicos, this will be the final set of grammar notes for this chapter for Unidad 2, Sección 1, and it has to do with demonstrative pronouns. So let's take a look at that. In English, when talking about how far away things are from us, we use what are called demonstrative pronouns, which is a very complicated grammar-y way of talking about a concept we use daily without even thinking about it. When something is close to us, we say this or these. For example, I have this coffee mug, or I have these rulers. But if I were to take these rulers and throw them way over there, that would be those rulers. Or if I were to take this coffee mug and throw it way over there, it would be that coffee mug. Basically, this or these talks about what's here, that or those talks about what's far away, and this, these, that, and those are demonstrative pronouns. Excuse me, demonstrative adjectives are also demonstrative pronouns. We'll get there in a minute. Generally speaking, we only have two distinctions, right? Things that are here, things that are close to me, and then things that are there, things that are far away. There's no real set guideline as to what is what. Certainly if you're comparing two things and one thing's close to the other thing's far away, then there's an obvious juxtaposition, I guess. There's an obvious difference between this thing and that thing. But let's say that I'm saying, hey, go get that pencil, but there are no other pencils closer to me. It's just a matter of judgment, right? If I think, hey, this thing is close enough that I should call it this, or hey, that thing is far enough away that I should call it that. In Spanish, though, Spanish speakers go one step further. Not only are there things that are close to us, like this thing, and then things that are farther away, like that thing, but there are also things that are way over there, like that or those things over there. And they have a kind of three separate distinctions: here, there, and way over there. And so let's take a look at some examples. This is what's going on with this weird like concentric circle thing. The perspective that we're taking is this person, this friendly smiley face over here. He's saying hola. He's a Spanish-speaking smiley face. And so in this first circle, that is the circle of things that are closest to him, maybe he has a book, books, table, tables, and you can see the this and these that he would need. They agree in number and gender with whatever he's talking about. For example, este libro would be this book, estos libros would be these books, esta mesa would be this table, and estas mesas would be these tables. And again, if you take a look at the ending of the este, estos, esta, estas, you can see that they basically line up, except for the E and the O, they basically line up exactly with what's going on at the end of the noun they're describing. So that's what's closest to him. So like this or these would be este, estos, esta, and estas. For this kind of middle distinction, this middle circle, which we're going to call that or those, it's the exact same words just without the T's. Ese libro would be that book, esos libros, those books, esa mesa, that table, esas mesas, those tables. And so that's for the middle distance. A rhyme that might help you out with that, which I remember from, I think I learned it in Spanish too, was this and these have T's, that and those don't. Which is not maybe the best rhyme, but probably helpful if you are thinking about, hey, which is the one that is this thing, which is closest to me, it has the T. This and these have T's, este, estos, esta, estas, that and those don't, ese, esos, esa, esas. Now let's say that something's way far away. That's represented by this third circle, and those are totally different words. That would be like aquel libro, would be that book way over there. Aquellos libros, remember the double L sounds like a Y. Aquellos libros, which are those books way over there. Aquella mesa, which is that table way over there. And then aquellas mesas, which are those tables way over there. So este, estos, esta, estas for close. Ese, esos, esa, esas for the middle distance. And aquel, aquellos, aquella, aquellas for the farthest distance. Now again, there's no rhyme, or not rhyme or reason, but there's no like obvious point at which something changes to another thing. It's not like, for example, this is all 5 feet, this is 10 feet, but if something's 25 feet away, then it's definitely this. It's just a matter of perspective. In the same way that in English, we don't necessarily measure out the difference between this pencil and that pencil. Similarly, Spanish speakers wouldn't measure this out. It's just a matter of perspective. And so I would say that the difference between the middle distance and the far distance is kind of a nuanced thing. It's kind of there's not a great divide between those things. If you wanted to go kind of either way with this and these, that would make sense. Or excuse me, with that and those, that would make sense, unless you definitely have these three things in a line, in which case it would definitely be this or that thing in the middle, and then those things way over there. Now finally, these are all adjectives in the sense that you see the noun that they're describing, right? So for example, este libro, este is an adjective, this describing the libro, the book. We see both of those things in the phrase there. But those same words can be used as pronouns by themselves. So it says here, these same words that are adjectives when paired with the thing they're describing can also be used by themselves as pronouns. Remember that a pronoun is a word that takes the place of a noun. So for example, I could talk about this coffee cup, but if we already know that I'm talking about a coffee cup, I could say just, hey, I spilled this, without referring to it as a coffee cup. And so for example, you could use, instead of saying, if you say like, yo tengo este libro, I have this book, but when you know that I'm talking about a book, you could just say, yo tengo este, like I have this one, I have this book. And you would not need to include the noun book itself. So for example, instead of saying quiero este libro, I want this book, you could just say quiero este, I want this thing. Or instead of saying me gusta aquel carro, I like that car way over there, you could just say me gusta aquel, I like that one, that car over there, if you already know what we're talking about. So chicos, that is it for the notes. Ran a little long today, sorry, 6 minutes. But bring any questions that you have with you tomorrow, and we'll begin to practice for this tomorrow. And espero que tengan una buena tarde. Nos vemos.